Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Brough Guitars Review. Very excited to have you with me today because we're going to be talking about no other than Eddie Van Halen.
That is brand new information!
Reason being is because I came across a guitar probably, I don't know, more than several months ago. Doesn't matter. You ever come across these guitars when you're sitting there and you're just late at night, you're looking at Reverb and eBay and looking at, Sweetwater and Guitar Center and obviously all these things that you don't need. But I came across a guitar on Reverb that I had had my eye on since probably childhood. I never bit the bullet on this guitar, so to speak, because I just wasn't a fan of sunburst guitars, really. And it's funny that I say that because now I have several sunburst guitars in my collection, so make it make sense. It doesn't.
You got me.
That brings me to this guitar right here. So this is the Peavey Special, which is the EXP version, okay, which basically just stands for short that it was made in outside the United States. Now, without giving you some extremely long history lesson about Eddie Van Halen and who all he signed with and this and that is not one of those videos. We're keeping this one today short. I'm going to try.
You're talking nonsense.
Here we go. So obviously he had left Music Man, he joined Peavey, and they came out with the first, rendition of the Wolfgang guitar. Back when he was with Peavey, they had the Peavey Standard, which was like the cream of the crop, top of the line guitar, the Rolls Royce, if you will. And they wanted to come out with obviously a guitar kind of to the more affordable market, and they made those, which are known as the EXPs, or the Peavey Special EXPs, and they made them over in Korea. Again, you guys know how I feel about this. I really don't care where the guitar is made necessarily, as long as it's a good quality instrument. But long story short, I didn't get it because it was a sunburst, but I always thought that that particular guitar looked just super awesome as a sunburst.
That's the wrong number!
And I also like the standard version as well, but the standard's a flame top, and this one's actually just a, quilt top. But look at that top. That is nasty. I mean, look at that. Now, granted, that is a veneer top, so, again, it's just a little tiny little slice of wood that they lay on top of the body. I came across this guitar on Reverb late one night, and I think they were asking maybe originally $700 for it or something. I had played a couple EXPs way back when, and I just couldn't really recall if I really liked them super well or not. It was early on when I was playing, and I still had no idea what the hell I was doing. I like to claim I know what I'm doing now, which I don't.
My disappointment is immeasurable, and my day is ruined.
So, continuing with the story, they wanted $700 for it, and they had it with the original case, and I had seen it just been sitting on there for a while. So typically when you see a guitar online sitting there for a minute, just go ahead and shoot your shot.
Pardonnez-moi, mon chéri.
Garbage night? We left the toilet seat up. What? What is it, woman? What?
It's like, going up to a super hot chick. You're never going to get your answer unless you go and approach her, my friends. I cold approached mine, bagged and tagged it, now I got it.
I think I got my swagger back. Oh.
So, go out there and just pull the trigger sometimes, right? Worst thing that happens is it's a no.
Yeah, no problem. Oh.
I messaged him real quick, and I'm like, I shoot him an offer or whatever, and believe it or not, I got this guitar for $500 with the case. That is insane. That is a hell of a deal for this guitar.
Thank you, Benjamin. Thank you.
Because there's a lot of things that I like about this guitar, and there's some things that, again, that I don't particularly care for, you know, about this guitar. But again, you have to keep in mind for the price in the market that this was trying to go towards, because again, the Standard was a very expensive guitar, and they wanted to try to appeal to people who maybe didn't have as much money to still be able to get their hands on a Wolfgang. Now, this is the Sunburst, and it did come in, I think, amber. I think it came in a blue, and came in a red. A couple of other different various colors. You know, so you had a few colors to choose from, but, you know, this one in particular just looked so cool. And it actually later ended up having the one that Eddie actually owned. I don't know if it was a deluxe or if it was still an EXP, but he actually ended up having a sustainer in his guitar, and it had some 5150 stickers here. But again, I was never a Sunburst fan, so I never bit the bullet on it. Ever since Eddie's passing, then obviously a lot of these guitars have just skyrocketed in value and just became unreal and just didn't make sense anymore to purchase one of these. But again, for $500, I'm very impressed. Yes, it is used, obviously, because it's a very old guitar. This one is from 2002, and I think they made them from a range from 2002 to 2004. Very impressed with this guitar overall. Let me talk about the things that I do like about this guitar. Obviously, aesthetically, I mean, just look at it. I mean, that's a killer looking top, veneer or not, I don't really care. But again, for the price point, that's a very good looking guitar, and they still do that on the Fender ones to this day. Another thing I like about this particular Sunburst is the fact that the paint here is a lot thicker around the edges, which I think really make the veneer really pop, because it really just draws your eyes to it with the outline of the black here, which is traditionally what a Sunburst is anyway. But on the Fender one, it's like it's a lot thinner line on it. Another thing that I really like was the pickups. The pickups are it's a very bright sound. The neck pickup is very creamy. Pickups are honestly great. I think I prefer the pickups in this over the pickups that are in the Fender EVH line.
It's okay. Just say that first part again. You were right. One more time, Cat.
As far as like the specials and now the standards, which are kind of like both the lower grades of the Fender realm. These pickups sound fantastic. Another thing that I really happen to like is the neck. The neck is a little bit chunkier than the majority of the Wolfgangs. I don't believe it's the same profile as they are. I believe the radius is the same. It's still 22 frets, which, you know, 22 frets, a lot of fun, we love. This guitar, I believe it's wired where the up position is the bridge and the down is the neck. Another thing that I like about this was, ironically, the tuners are Grover tuners, which Grover tuners I like. They do their job. I'm not really particular when it comes to the tuners, but again, it's not the Schallers, but Grover tuners are still very good quality tuners. Another thing that I really liked was it obviously has the EVH detune on here, and it is a Peavey licensed Floyd Rose here. You know, it's got the same, you know, 4 bolts here. They're super recessed. I mean, it actually feels like almost damn near holes. Yeah, that's what she said.
High five.
Oh.
High five?
Oh,
You'd say high five when you...
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
It's got the signature here, which is just printed in, and then the serial number is just printed. Now, the only things that I didn't particularly like about the guitar is this trim arm happens to sit up. I mean, look, it's like 7 inches from the body. I mean, it is super far up. Maybe get a different trim arm so I can really just dive down, besides feeling like, you know, I'm going like,
you know, super crazy, so...
Another thing I don't like is just the potentiometer is just, it has a lot of friction, but again, that can be changed. Not a huge deal, but you know, if you're going from, you know, somebody get me a doctor and that little breakdown of just very hard to then roll the knob to do the volume swell on that. But again, we're just talking, we're nitpicking here.
You cannot escape the truth.
And yeah, guys, so I said this one was used. It does just have a little nick in it right here. And over here in the headstock, it's got that little one right there. I mean, for $500 with the original Peavey case, I mean, what a steal. So I guess the moral of the story of this video is, if you are in the realm of wanting a Wolfgang, if you can get one of these for, you know, $500 to the $700 range or less, I highly recommend getting one of these guitars.
Yes, and it cost more than the condom I should have used the night you were conceived.
And even if you were to change something on it, which would be very minimal, whether you went to original Floyd Rose, you want to change out the potentiometer, whatever your fancy is.
This is not meth.
It's going to be hard to enhance the guitar. Those will definitely make a difference depending on what you're going for. If it was me, if I was to perhaps see this, and especially for the price that I got it as a comparison to the newer Wolfgang, you know, specials and the standards, and I think the standards are the lowest one now, and then it goes special and on up, I would go with the Peavey all day. I really like it. I'm very pleased with the purchase that I did. Like I said, a couple things here and there that I don't particularly care for, but it's, I mean, again, we're just nitpicking. Other than that, I mean, it's a fantastic sounding and playing guitar, and I highly recommend it. So please, guys, down in the comments, let me know if you want to see me do a comparison, kind of like I did the HP2 in comparison to the Peavey Standard. Let me know if you want me to do a comparison between the EXP to the Peavey Standard, to the Fender EVH Wolfgang from 2010, to my 2015 tour Relic, which happens to be a Fender Special, and that was the arch top one, not the flat top stuff that they're putting out now. Although I think they're still putting out the arch top ones. They brought them back. It's very confusing. There's so many Wolfgangs to choose from. And then obviously I have my AX40 that we could always compare it to. So just let me know, you know, which guitars you want to see compared. And I think it'd be really fun to kind of compare them all, even though the other ones are extremely modded, but perhaps just maybe kind of see how similar they are, you know, from body shape to neck and things like that. But I'm interested to see what you guys want to see, and let me know, and maybe I can work something out there for you. So as always, guys, I really appreciate you watching. Again, thank you for all the support. Thank you for all the comments. Thank you for reaching out. It truly means so very much to me, and I will never stop thanking you guys, because without you, there'd be no me. So again, thank you very much. Until next time, do whatever it is you do. Kyle, out.